My daughter Susie really got after me about what she called my hoarding. I live alone. I've got a lot of space. My husband Walt, God rest his soul, died after one of those heart attacks that hit without warning. Yeah, he was playing golf, something he loved but was never much good at, when he keeled over the fifth hole trying to bust his way out of a sand trap. Now, if you ask me, people discard way too many items nowadays. If you ask me, people discard way too many items nowadays. I feel sorry when I see a perfectly good lamp or table or a perfectly good rug or glassware or even a flower pot that's just sitting on the side of the road waiting to be taken to a landfill. So I collect it. But who cares? My busybody daughter, that's who. She gives me a pain in the you-know-what. Buddhism tells us that attachment causes suffering. This notion is so pervasive in our consciousness. We live in a society in which it is considered morally superior to be a minimalist. But St. Louis University of June 19th, 2017 argues that loving objects doesn't necessarily make a person greedy or materialistic. While things are on the one hand just things, they also embody the meanings people project onto them. And rather than serving as a poor substitute for human connection, our own objects can actually amplify our human connections. Saving Mother from Herself by Marge Percy. My daughter thinks I'm crazy because I filled the living room and the dining room with my stuff. And the spare bedrooms. And the halls leading to the spare bedrooms. But I'll tell her who am I to dine with anyhow, Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny. I do have a very nice Easter Bunny statue in my living room next to the VCR tapes. You can't just, and some VCR tapes that people threw away. You can't just buy a VCR tape anymore. So I have about 12 just in case one goes on the fritz. Going to the movies used to be so cheap, but now it's too rich for my purse. Besides, why would I want to go to the movies anyways, with all those people yakking and talking on their cell phones and being so rude? I would never pay for that. No, I'm no Bill Gates. Oh, you didn't think I knew who that was. But I know. I watched a documentary on him, one of my tapes, in the living room, next to the Easter Bunny. You see, why would I ever buy what I can get for free? A lamp, a chair, a table. Oh, where else could I get this beautiful specimen? He's a stuffed owl. His name is Roscoe. He reminds me of my husband. Don't you, Roscoe? But my daughter is always getting on me about Roscoe and my house and my disease and how there's a cure, and I tune her out. I learned to do that a long time ago, or else I wouldn't be such the good-natured person I am today, believe me. So, 2 months ago, my daughter comes to the door with this woman, mid-40s, she's blonde, wearing a navy suit. This bitch, a therapist, tells me that hoarding is a disease and there's a cure, and my daughter tells me that if I don't let these people come into my home and take away all of my wonderful things that she's going to call elder services and have them put me in a home. For this, I raised a squalling baby, put her through community college, paid for her wedding. They had me over a barrel. So finally, after 3 sessions with this woman who pretended to be on my side but never really was, I agreed. Turns out that the same TV show that got me into trouble in the first place was going to come to my home and film everything. They were going to make it neat and orderly, surely the way I wanted it. They were going to make the space livable again. Livable. As if, what have I been doing in here, dying? So, the TV crew came, and they moved around all of my stuff, junk, they called it, and they put it in my bedroom to make it look messy, and I couldn't even get to my bed that night. I mean, those were some of the worst days of my life. They topped that time. It was my first delivery. I was in labor for 20 hours. And then the time that I tripped over my neighbor's dog and I was in a cast for a month. And also the time that Walt got food poisoning from that stupid chicken mayonnaise salad. Oh, I didn't make that, of course. That was Adele Fortunate. Never forgave her. So when the therapist saw how uncomfortable I was, she grabbed my hand like she was leading a baby from danger. She said that you need all these things because you've never properly processed death. And that I should experience loss so I can let go all of my substitutes for him. She let me pick a couple of things, but whatever I said I wanted to save, they said it was too much. And finally, I just agreed to everything. Susie cried and hugged me, and I pretended to cry. And then I saw them taking Roscoe out to the trash, and I made a grab for him, and I lied. I said, that belongs to my late husband. And they threw him away. I wish I could escape to Florida or Mexico or Puerto Rico, someplace where I could avoid the scrutiny. You know, I wish that a great wind would come and take them all away and leave me in my home, my private home, with everything just as I had kept it. Finally, when they had restored my home to how it had never been in all the days that I lived there, you know, all of the times I raised my ungrateful children, been happy and married to Walt, and made a life I could be proud of and satisfied of. After everyone left, I sat down in my boring living room with only the TV for company. I had one bookshelf, a couple of books, one VCR, some tapes, and me. I mean, how would you like it if people invaded your home and took 3/4 of your possessions away? I felt violated, humiliated. So Monday, I went to the bank and I withdrew $500. I rented a U-Haul and I went straight to the resale shop. I told the lady I was refurnishing a condo, but I found 23 pieces that were mine, so I bought them back. Just some glassware, some dishes, and a china cabinet I could begin to fill again, and then I found Roscoe. It was such a happy reunion. And then every day, every weekend, I'll go out to yard sales and garage sales and slowly start to buy things that make my life worthwhile again. You know, I was on TV a month and a half ago, so I had to lie low. And the show was almost as traumatic as the experience itself. I mean, they made my home look disgusting. The man on the other half of the episode, he collected so many dolls and toys, he couldn't even get into his own bathroom. But I could always get into my bathroom. I never had a problem with that. I love baths, but that's not the point. The point is people discard memories as quickly as they discard objects. But here I am, ready to save what shouldn't be thrown onto the trash heap, like this old woman and so many others. Slowly but surely, I'm getting my life back, and I am settling into my home.